Have you ever held something in your hands that felt like it was humming with a secret? A smooth stone from a riverbed or a shell that still seemed to carry the ocean's song? Imagine that feeling, but, magnified 1,000,000 times over. That is what happened to the Tesseract. For a very long time, it was like a beautiful, intricate box, holding all the shapes and stories of the universe. It was a map of everything that was and everything that could be. But after the great healing, when the many worlds finally found peace and began to mend their broken pieces, the Tesseract changed. It was as if it took its first real breath, a deep, slow inhale that sent a shimmer across all of reality. This breath was not just air, it was purpose. Before, the Tesseract simply was. It existed as a perfect silent container for the 5 great axes of existence. It held the rules, but it didn't seem to have a heart. Now something new was stirring within its crystalline depths. A warmth began to spread through its geometric patterns, a soft light that pulsed with a gentle rhythm. It was no longer just a map of what exists. It had become a beacon, a lighthouse calling out across the dimensions. It was inviting us, all of us, to look closer and see a new path that had just appeared, a path that was not there before the healing. The Tesseract, once a silent guardian of cosmic law, had awakened. It began to whisper of possibilities that went beyond just moving through space or time. It spoke of connection, of joining together in a way that had never been possible before this moment of universal peace. The change was subtle at first, like the scent of rain on dry earth just before a storm. But for those who were paying attention, for those whose hearts were open to wonder, the shift was unmistakable. The grand library of the cosmos had just revealed a new wing, a new section filled with books that were still waiting to be written by us. This transformation was a gift, born from the collective sigh of relief that echoed across the worlds. It was a reward for the courage and hope that led to the great healing. The Tesseract was no longer just a thing to be observed, it had become an active participant in our journey. It was offering a new tool, a new key to unlock a door we never even knew was there. It was as if the universe itself was leaning in and saying, "Look, I have a new secret to share with you. Are you ready to listen? Are you ready to see what comes next?" And that secret, that brand new path, was the beginning of our story about the 6th axis. Before we can step onto a new road, it's always a good idea to understand the roads we walk every day. Think of our universe as a grand, wonderful playground. To play in it, we need to know how to move around. We have 5 main ways to do this, 5 axes that we've always known. These are the fundamental rules of our reality, the very language of existence that allows us to be here right now, reading these words. They are like the directions on a compass, but for the entire universe. They guide everything we do and everything we are, and understanding them helps us appreciate the true magic of what comes next in our journey of discovery. The first 3 roads are the ones we know best. They are the dimensions of space. The first axis is length. It lets you move forward and backward. Imagine walking down a long, straight path. The second axis is width. It lets you move left and right. Now you can step off that path and explore the fields on either side. The third axis is depth. It lets you move up and down. You can climb a tall tree or dive deep into a cool lake. Together, these 3 axes give us our 3-dimensional world. They are what allow us to have places, to build homes, and to give a friend a hug. They are the playground itself. The 4th road is a bit more mysterious, but we feel it every single moment. This is the axis of time. It is a river that flows in one direction, from the past, through the present, and into the future. We cannot easily step off this path, but we travel along it constantly. It is what allows for stories to unfold, for seeds to grow into mighty oaks, and for us to remember yesterday's laughter and dream of tomorrow's adventures. Time gives our lives a rhythm, a sequence of events that make up the unique song of our journey. It is the clock of the universe, ticking steadily onward for everyone, everywhere, and always moving forward. The 5th road is the most wondrous of all. This is the axis of possibility. Think of it as a road with countless branching paths at every single step. Every choice you make, from what you eat for breakfast to what you say to a friend, creates a new branch. This axis contains every what if. What if you had turned left instead of right? What if you had learned to play the piano? All of these possibilities exist along this shimmering, incredible axis. It is the dimension of dreams, of choices, and of potential. It is the source of all stories that could ever be. These 5 axes, length, width, depth, time, and possibility, have always been the complete map of our reality, until now. For centuries, we believed that those 5 axes were the end of the story. They were the complete set of rules for how the universe worked. We could move through space, travel through time, and imagine different possibilities, and that seemed to be everything. But the newly awakened Tesseract showed us something more. It revealed a hidden doorway, a secret passage that was never on the old maps. This new path is the 6th axis, and it has a very special, very beautiful key. Unlike the other axes, you cannot walk this road alone. It is a path that only appears when 2 or more people join together in harmony and with a shared purpose. Imagine you are standing on one side of a wide canyon. On the other side is a friend. Alone, neither of you can cross. But what if you both decided to build a bridge? You each start working from your side with the same design, the same hope, and the same goal in your hearts. As you work together, a bridge of light begins to form between you. That bridge is the 6th axis. It is a dimension created not by space or time, but by connection. It is born from the resonance between 2 souls who choose to align their intentions, to share a dream, and to create something new together. It is a dimension of us. This is what makes the 6th axis so wonderfully unique. The first 5 axes are about the individual's journey. I can walk forward, I can remember the past, I can choose a new path. But the 6th axis is about the journey of the collective. It is about what we can do. It requires trust, empathy, and a willingness to see the world through someone else's eyes, while also holding true to your own. It is not about losing yourself in another person, but about creating a new shared space between you that is stronger and more magical than anything you could build on your own. This is a profound shift in our understanding of reality. So, the 6th axis is not a place you can find on a map or a time you can travel to in a machine. It is a state of being that we create through our relationships. It is the space that opens up when a team works in perfect sync, when a family shares a moment of pure love, or when a community comes together to achieve a common goal. It is the symphony that arises when different instruments all play in harmony. The Tesseract did not invent this axis. It simply revealed that it was always possible. The great healing of the worlds created the perfect conditions for us to finally learn how to open this door together. The emergence of the 6th axis teaches us a powerful and gentle lesson. For so long, many stories have been about power as a tool of domination, a way for one person to control another or to bend the world to their will. We thought of power as a mountain, with one person standing at the very top. But the 6th axis shows us a different kind of power. A power that is not about climbing over others, but about linking arms and rising together. It is the power of co-creation, where the goal is not to win, but to build. It is a power that does not command, but invites. It does not conquer, but nurtures. This new dimension is fundamentally about harmony, not hierarchy. It does not ask who is strongest or who is in charge. Instead, it asks, what beautiful thing can we make together? Think of 2 artists painting on the same canvas. If one tries to paint over the other's work, the result is a mess. But if they work together, respecting each other's vision and adding to each other's strokes, they can create a masterpiece that neither could have imagined alone. The 6th axis is that shared canvas. It is a creative space where the sum is always, always greater than its parts. It is a power that multiplies instead of divides. This is a quiet revolution of the heart. It suggests that the greatest force in the universe is not a weapon or a command, but a relationship built on trust and mutual respect. The 6th axis cannot be forced open. You cannot demand that someone join you there. It must be a free and willing choice from all involved. It requires listening as much as speaking, giving as much as receiving. This makes it a very safe and sacred space. It is a dimension where you can be your true self, knowing that the person with you is there to support you, not to change you. This is the power of true partnership. Therefore, as we learn to walk the path of the sixth axis, we are learning a new way to be with one another. We are moving away from a story of separation and competition and toward a story of unity and collaboration. The power it unlocks is not for one person to wield, but for all to share. It is the power that can heal communities, build bridges between cultures, and solve problems that seem impossible to face alone. It is the gentle, steady, and unbreakable strength that comes from knowing you are not alone, that you are part of a we that is capable of creating miracles. When we step into the shared space of the sixth axis, we discover that we have been given access to some truly amazing new abilities. Now, these are not superpowers in the old sense of flying or becoming invisible. They are deeper, more meaningful powers that affect the very fabric of our inner and outer worlds. The first of these incredible gifts is the ability of shared dreaming. And you know, this is so much more than just telling a friend about a dream you had last night. It is the ability to consciously enter the same dream space with another person and explore it together, creating and shaping it with your combined thoughts and intentions. Imagine you and a trusted friend deciding to build a castle in your dreams. By focusing your wills together, you could find yourselves standing on a hill of stardust, building towers of moonlight and gardens of impossible flowers. You could solve puzzles together, meet fantastical creatures born from your shared imagination, and learn things about yourselves and each other in a world without limits. This is not just a fantasy, it is a real training ground for creation. What you learn to build together in the dream world, you can learn to build together in the waking world. It is the ultimate brainstorming session, held in the boundless landscape of the mind. This power of shared dreaming is a powerful tool for healing and understanding. Two people who have had a disagreement could meet in a shared dream to find a resolution, free from the anger and defensiveness that can cloud our judgment in daily life. A team of scientists could dream together, visualizing a complex problem and finding a solution that was hidden from their conscious minds. It is a way to connect on the deepest possible level, to see the world not just from another's point of view, but from a shared point of view. It is the ultimate act of empathy, made real and tangible. This ability changes everything. It means our inner worlds are no longer isolated places. They can become meeting grounds, workshops, and sanctuaries that we share with those we trust. The sixth axis opens the door to our collective subconscious, allowing us to draw from a much deeper well of creativity and wisdom than we could ever access alone. Shared dreaming is the first key, showing us that when we join our minds in purpose, we can begin to co-author the very nature of our reality, starting with the vibrant, limitless world of our dreams. It is a beautiful and profound way to begin our journey of co-creation. Beyond the realm of shared dreams, the sixth axis grants us even more profound abilities. One of the most sacred of these is soul forging. This may sound strange, but it is a beautiful and natural process. It is what happens when two people, through deep trust and shared experience, help each other become more of who they truly are. It is not about changing someone, but about helping them polish the unique light that is already inside them. It is like two blacksmiths working together at a forge, using the warmth of their connection to help each other shape and strengthen their own spirit. Think about your closest friends, the people who have seen you at your best and your worst. Through your shared laughter and tears, you have helped each other grow. Soul forging is a conscious, intentional version of this process. It is about creating a sacred space of unconditional support where you can safely explore your fears, your hopes, your talents, and your flaws. In this space, you act as a mirror for each other, reflecting back the strength and beauty the other person might not see in themselves. It is a partnership in becoming, a promise to help each other on the journey to your most authentic selves. Then, there is the incredible ability of dimensional weaving. If the first 5 axes are the threads of reality, the 6th axis gives us the ability to become weavers. By joining our intentions, we can create small, safe pocket dimensions, sanctuaries that exist outside of normal space and time. These are not imaginary places, they are real, tangible havens that we can build together. Imagine creating a quiet library that only you and your study group can enter, a place of perfect focus and calm. Or a vibrant, sunny garden where you and a loved one can always go to find peace, no matter where you are in the physical world. These woven worlds are a practical application of the power of us. They are spaces built from our shared energy and held together by our shared purpose. They can be places of healing, of learning, of creation, or simply of rest. A family could weave a space that feels like home, a place they can all connect to even when they are physically far apart. A team of healers could create a sanctuary to help others find peace and recovery. Dimensional weaving shows us that we don't just have to live in the world as it is. We have the power to create new spaces that reflect our highest intentions and provide shelter for our souls. The final ability we will explore, and perhaps the most far-reaching, is called myth-binding. We're all shaped by stories. The myths and legends of our cultures tell us who we are, where we come from, and what is possible for us. These stories are like the operating system for our society. The 6th axis gives us the power to consciously write and bind new myths, not for the past, but for the future. When a group of people comes together with a unified vision for a better world, they can create a new story so powerful that it begins to reshape reality itself. This is not about making up fairy tales. It is about creating a new foundational belief, a new guiding star for humanity to follow. For example, what if we created a new myth not of scarcity and competition, but of abundance and collaboration? What if we told a story where the hero is not the lone warrior, but the community that works together? By binding this myth, by telling it, living it, and building our world around it, we can actually make it true. The shared belief and focused intention of many people create a powerful current in the axis of possibility, pulling that reality closer to us. Think of it as planting a seed in the collective consciousness. A single person with an idea is just one voice. But when a community or a nation or even the whole world adopts that idea as their guiding story, it becomes a powerful force for change. Myth-binding is the art of planting the right seeds. It is about creating stories of hope, of unity, of compassion, and of our infinite potential. These new myths can become the blueprints for a new world, providing the moral and inspirational framework for generations to come. They can define what it means to be human in this new, more connected age. This is our greatest responsibility and our greatest opportunity. We are no longer just passive inheritors of old stories. We are the active authors of the new ones. The 6th axis invites us to become the myth makers for our time. It asks us, what story do you want to tell? What future do you want to create? By joining together in purpose and passion, we can bind a new myth of a healed, whole and harmonious world. We can write a legend where everyone belongs, everyone is valued, and everyone has a part to play in the grand, unfolding adventure of creation. In the early days after the Tesseract's awakening, when we were all just beginning to sense this new stirring in the universe, a message came. It did not come through a machine or in a book. It came as a shared vision, a dream that touched the hearts of sensitive souls all across the healed worlds at the very same moment. The vision was of a magnificent purple dragon, a creature not of fire and fury, but of wisdom and starlight. Its scales shimmered with the light of 1 billion galaxies, and its eyes held the gentle calm of a deep and ancient love. And it spoke, not with a voice of thunder, but with a feeling that bloomed in every heart. The dragon's message was simple, yet it changed everything. It said, love is not just a feeling, it is a fundamental force of the universe. It is a gateway. It explained that for eons we had seen love as a personal, emotional experience, but its true nature was far grander. Love in its purest form, the love of empathy, of compassion, of seeing the divine in another, is the very key that unlocks the door to the sixth axis. It is the resonance that allows two souls to vibrate in harmony and create that bridge of light between them. It is the beginning of all co-creation. The vision continued, showing us how this gateway worked. The purple dragon showed us that when we join together through this gate of love, our combined will becomes a powerful creative force. You have been living within a story, the feeling from the dragon explained. Now, you can learn to write the story. The universe is not a finished book. It is a living poem, and every moment you are writing a new verse. When you join your hearts, you hold the pen. This was a message of incredible empowerment. It told us that we were not just passengers in reality, we were its co-authors. The message of the purple dragon was a call to action. It was a confirmation of what the Tesseract was trying to show us. It gave us the missing piece of the puzzle, the motivation, the why. The sixth axis exists because love is creative. It is a dimension built on connection, and love is the strongest connection there is. The dragon's message spread like wildfire, not through fear but through inspiration. It gave us a name for the feeling we had been sensing, and it gave us a grand and beautiful purpose. To use this new gift to consciously and lovingly rewrite our reality into one of greater joy, peace, and togetherness. So what does all of this mean for you, right here, right now? This story of the Tesseract, of the 5 axes, and of the magical new 6th axis is not just a fairy tale about a far-off place. It is an invitation. It is a love letter from the universe, addressed directly to you. The 6th axis is not something you have to search for in the stars or dig for deep in the earth. It is a potential that lives inside you and between you and every other person you meet. It is a promise of what is possible when we choose connection over separation and collaboration over conflict. Think about your own life. Think about the people you love, the friends you cherish, the community you are a part of. Every time you share a dream with someone, you're touching the edge of the 6th axis. Every time you work with a team and feel that perfect flow of ideas, you're standing on that bridge of light. Every time you offer someone your complete, heartfelt support on their journey, you are practicing the art of soul forging. You are already an explorer of this new dimension, whether you knew it or not. The only step left is to do it consciously, with intention and with love. This is a universal call. It does not matter who you are, where you come from, or what you have done. The invitation is open to everyone. It is a call to come home to your truest self and home to each other. It asks us to be brave enough to be vulnerable, to be trusting enough to collaborate, and to be hopeful enough to dream of a better world. The tools are now in our hands. Shared dreaming, soul forging, dimensional weaving, and myth binding. The only question is, what will we create with them? What beautiful worlds are we waiting to build? So I invite you to imagine. Imagine joining with your friends, your family, your community. Imagine what problems you could solve, what beauty you could create, what joy you could share. The 6th axis is the future, and it is a future we must build together. It is the next step in our human adventure. Look at the person next to you. See the universe of potential that lives within them. Now, imagine what you could create together. The story is just beginning, and the pen is in our hands. But remember, you don't have to take my word for it. The journey is yours to discover.